Hello, everyone. I just watched Prayers for Bobby, and I wanted to offer my comment because I saw several other people responding by video, and I thought I'd say a few things that others haven't. I'm not going to comment on the movie other than saying that it was very emotionally heart wrenching and also very cliche, in my opinion. Um, I mean, I cried through it, but it could have been done better. But anyway, um, just to give the factual background first, uh, I'm not gay, and neither is my boyfriend. He's actually basically just into me, and otherwise seems to be more or less asexual. Um, my last boyfriend is actually mostly into girls and just happened to like me. And my only other major long term relationship before that was a girl who was very nice. Um, and she's definitely bi. Um, and I should also point out that my current relationship and my last relationship overlapped with the consent and foreknowledge um, and encouragement of my last partner, with whom I broke up with for unrelated reasons that were just, some of the usual stuff that goes on in a relationship where eventually you're just not an appropriate match. Um, so, that aside, I don't think that this whole gay movie thing represents me. Um, for the same reasons as I kind of don't understand what religious people talk about when they're saying the gay lifestyle, um, which seems to be some sort of over dramatized, hysterical version of essentially the same thing as pro gay movies like Prayers for Bobby represent. Namely, I'm really not into clubbing. I don't particularly like dancing. I don't drink at all. I'm not promiscuous, and I never really have been, and I'm not into it. I'm not feminine. I'm not effeminate. I'm not masculine. Particularly, I'm not macho. I'm just me. Um, and actually, I find people with really strong gender identities to be kind of weird, um, because it seems like such an irrelevant thing to me. Um, and I'd wanted to just draw a parallel, which is I like geeks. I like people who are smart and who can, surprise me in a conversation, who can teach me something, who can um, be witty. Where's the club for people like me? Where's the dance hall for smart people? Where how come we don't have our own culture or lifestyle? Why? Because it's not a thing, right? Whereas who you happen to be attracted to by genitals is a thing. Um, and that seems really weird to me. Um, Genitals are completely irrelevant to why I am attracted to somebody. Um, had nothing to do with any of my last relationships. I was attracted to them for their personality, for um, liking being with them, for their intelligence, things like that. Shocking, I know, but you can actually be into somebody and not be just staring at their crotch all the time. I mean, mind you, I like the sex, but that's that's separate. Um, I wasn't really raised religiously or anything. I had a Bible. I read it cover to cover, more than you can say for most Christians. Uh, Same as I did my collection works of Mark Twain and Shakespeare. Um, and basically the same attitude too. Um, it was just another book, but nevertheless, I can outquote most people. So that was not really ever an issue. My parents aren't especially religious. Um, I didn't come out to them, as it were, until after college, just because I wasn't sure how they'd react, and um, I wanted to make sure that I wasn't financially entangled with them in any way, just in case it went badly. It didn't really. Um, I think they were kind of uncomfortable with it. They still are uncomfortable with it. They had some misconceptions, like that gay means promiscuous, or that it means I get AIDS or had AIDS, um, or that it means I wouldn't want to start a family, um, or get married, or the like, which I do. Um, the fact that I'm currently with a guy whom I dearly love doesn't change the fact that I might want to get married someday. Um, the fact that I might be with a girl is also entirely possible. And I don't see why that should make a difference. Um, the one thing it does affect is that it obviously is a lot harder to have biological, mutual children with another guy. But that seems to be like a pretty trivial issue in a much larger thing of what we call what a family is. Um, Telling my friends was really kind of trivial. Most of them already had figured it out or were just okay, whatever. It wasn't a big deal. Um, I've worn flag pins occasionally. I have one that's just on one of my shirts that I never really take it off. Um, and so I've worn it to school. I've worn it to work. Nothing really came of that. Nobody at work gave a damn. Nobody at school gave a damn. And it's just a thing that I happen to wear. And honestly, I don't think I'd even bother with that if it weren't for the fact that there's currently discrimination on the basis of sexual orientation. For cultural reasons, fortunately, not so much here in California, but in other places it's a lot worse. Um, but I wouldn't be able to marry my partner if I wanted to, at least not in this state. Oh, yeah, we could have a domestic partner, but uh, I'd like to see how people would react if you called their husband or wife their domestic partner or their longtime boyfriend or something like that instead of your husband. I think they'd be somewhat offended if you called that. Um, I've had a couple of misunderstandings from coworkers who thought, for example, because I was gay, which they thought I'm not gay, um, that meant I was promiscuous, or that I wanted to go shopping with them or something. I'm not into shopping or consumerism at all. Um, who thought that my being poly was weird. Like, it's okay to cheat on someone, but it's really weird if you actually ask them if you could go date someone else and they say yes. And they're okay with it. There are ethical ways to do that. And that was kind of shocking for a couple of them when it came up. Um, but what I would just like to see is this whole sexuality thing being treated as a non-issue, as just completely as irrelevant to anything real as whether you happen to shave. I mean, you don't see any laws that say people with beards can't get married, right? It's just as irrelevant. Those are my thoughts. Bye.